Welcome, and thank you for being here. Taking the time to invest in your mental clarity and focus is a powerful step toward personal growth, and I'm excited to guide you through this journey. Whether you're looking to sharpen your mind, improve productivity, or simply gain a deeper understanding of how your brain works, this audiobook is here to support you every step of the way. If you're enjoying this experience, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on future audiobooks and content. Your support helps me continue creating valuable resources to inspire and guide you. Now, let's get started. In this chapter, we'll explore the science behind mental clarity, uncover how your brain functions, and begin identifying the mental barriers that may be holding you back. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: Understanding Your Mind. This chapter is the foundation of your journey toward mental clarity and focus. Before we can improve our mental clarity and sharpen our focus, we need to understand how our minds work. What happens in our brains when we're focused? Why do we get distracted so easily? And what role do our habits and thought patterns play in shaping our mental state? In this chapter, we'll explore the science behind mental clarity, uncover the secrets of how your brain functions, and help you identify the mental blocks that might be holding you back. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a clearer understanding of your mind and be ready to take the next steps toward achieving mental clarity and focus. The anatomy of the brain and its role in focus. To truly understand mental clarity and focus, we must first explore the incredible organ that makes it all possible, the brain. The brain is a complex and dynamic system, responsible for everything from processing information and solving problems to regulating emotions and storing memories. It's the control center of your body, and its intricate networks determine how well you can concentrate, make decisions, and stay mentally sharp. But how exactly does the brain contribute to focus? Let's break it down, piece by piece, so you can see how this remarkable organ shapes your ability to think clearly and stay on task. One of the key players in focus and decision-making is the prefrontal cortex, located at the front of your brain. Think of the prefrontal cortex as the CEO of your brain. It's responsible for planning, organizing, and executing tasks. When this area is functioning well, you're able to set goals, prioritize tasks, and stay focused on what matters most. For example, imagine you're working on a project with a tight deadline. Your prefrontal cortex helps you break the project into smaller steps, decide which tasks to tackle first, and stay on track despite distractions. However, when the prefrontal cortex is overwhelmed, whether by stress, fatigue, or distractions, its ability to perform these functions diminishes. Have you ever tried to focus on an important task but found yourself constantly distracted by thoughts of unfinished chores, upcoming deadlines, or even random worries? That's your prefrontal cortex struggling to keep up with competing demands. It's like a computer trying to run too many programs at once. Eventually, it slows down or freezes. This is why managing stress and creating a focused environment are so important. Topics we'll explore further in Chapter 6, Overcoming Distractions, and Chapter 8, Emotional Regulation and Mental Clarity. On the other hand, the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure deep within the brain, plays a critical role in processing emotions, particularly fear and anxiety. While the amygdala is essential for survival, helping us react to threats, it can also hijack our focus when it becomes overactive. For instance, if you're feeling anxious about a presentation at work, your amygdala might trigger a stress response, making it difficult to concentrate on anything else. This tug-of-war between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala is a key reason why emotional regulation is so important for mental clarity. When your amygdala is calm, your prefrontal cortex can take the lead, allowing you to think clearly and stay focused. But when the amygdala is in overdrive, it's like having an alarm blaring in the background. It's hard to focus on anything else. We'll dive deeper into strategies for managing emotions and reducing anxiety in Chapter 8, Emotional Regulation and Mental Clarity. Another important area is the hippocampus, which is involved in forming and retrieving memories. When your hippocampus is functioning well, you can easily recall information and stay mentally organized. For example, if you're studying for an exam or preparing for a meeting, your hippocampus helps you retain and retrieve the information you need. However, chronic stress or lack of sleep can impair the hippocampus, leading to forgetfulness and mental fog. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Or struggled to remember a name or detail you know you should know? That's your hippocampus struggling under pressure. This is why maintaining a healthy lifestyle, through sleep, nutrition, and exercise, is so crucial for mental clarity, as we'll discuss in Chapter 2, The Foundations of Mental Clarity. By taking care of your body, you're also taking care of your brain, ensuring that your hippocampus can function at its best. Finally, the reticular activating system, RAS, a network of neurons in the brainstem, acts as a filter for incoming information. It determines what gets your attention and what gets ignored. For example, if you're in a crowded room, your RAS helps you focus on the person you're talking to while filtering out background noise. However, in today's world of constant notifications and information overload, the RAS can become overwhelmed, making it harder to focus on what truly matters. Think of your RAS as a gatekeeper. When it's working well, it lets in only the most important information. But when it's bombarded with too many stimuli, emails, social media alerts, text messages, it starts letting in everything, leaving you feeling scattered and distracted. Techniques like mindfulness and meditation can help train your RAS to filter out distractions more effectively, a topic we'll dive into in Chapter 3, Mindfulness and Meditation. By practicing mindfulness, you can teach your brain to focus on the present moment, reducing the mental clutter that often leads to distraction. Understanding the anatomy of the brain and its role in focus is the first step toward improving your mental clarity. By recognizing how different parts of your brain work, and how they can sometimes work against you, you'll be better equipped to take control of your focus. For example, knowing that your prefrontal cortex is responsible for planning and decision-making can help you create strategies to support it, like breaking tasks into smaller steps or setting clear priorities. Recognizing the role of the amygdala in emotional responses can help you develop techniques to calm your mind when you're feeling anxious or stressed. And understanding the importance of the hippocampus and RAS can motivate you to prioritize sleep, nutrition, and mindfulness practices that keep your brain functioning at its best. In the coming sections, we'll explore practical strategies to help you optimize your brain's function, from building better habits to managing distractions. But for now, take a moment to appreciate the incredible complexity of your brain and the potential it holds for achieving mental clarity and focus. Your brain is not just a passive organ, it's a dynamic system that you can train and strengthen over time. With the right tools and techniques, you can unlock its full potential and create a life that is focused, productive, and fulfilling. The science of attention and distraction. Why is it so hard to stay focused in today's world? The answer lies in the science of attention, a fascinating and complex process that governs how we engage with the world around us. Our brains are wired to respond to new stimuli, a trait that evolved over thousands of years to help us survive. In ancient times, this meant being alert to potential threats, like the rustle of leaves signaling a predator nearby or the sound of running water indicating a nearby source of hydration. These automatic responses were essential for survival, but in the modern world, this same wiring makes us vulnerable to constant distractions. Emails, social media notifications, text messages, and endless to-do lists bombard us daily, pulling our attention in a dozen directions at once. This constant state of distraction can leave us feeling mentally exhausted, unable to focus on what truly matters. For example, imagine you're trying to finish an important work project, but your phone keeps buzzing with notifications. Each buzz triggers your brain's automatic response system, pulling your focus away from the task at hand. Over time, this can lead to a phenomenon known as attention residue, where your mind remains partially focused on the previous task even as you try to move on to the next one. The result? Reduced productivity, increased stress, and a sense of mental clutter. To understand why distractions are so powerful, we need to look at how attention works. Attention is like a spotlight, it illuminates what we choose to focus on while leaving everything else in the shadows. However, our brains are also equipped with a bottom-up attention system, which automatically shifts our focus to anything novel, unexpected, or emotionally charged. This system is why you might find yourself scrolling through social media instead of working on an important project, or why a sudden notification can derail your train of thought. For instance, have you ever been deep in thought, only to be pulled out of it by the sound of your phone ringing or a loud noise outside? That's your bottom-up attention system at work. While this system is incredibly useful for detecting potential threats or opportunities, it can also make it difficult to maintain focus in a world filled with constant stimuli. The good news is that attention is not fixed, it's a skill that can be trained and strengthened over time. Just as you can build physical strength through exercise, you can build mental focus through deliberate practice and the right strategies. One of the most effective ways to improve your focus is to understand and manage your distractions. Let's take the example of working on a report while your phone keeps buzzing with notifications. Each buzz triggers your brain's bottom-up attention system, pulling your focus away from the task at hand. Over time, this constant switching between tasks, known as task switching or multitasking, can reduce your productivity by up to 40%. Research shows that it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus after a distraction, which means even a few interruptions can significantly impact your ability to get things done. To combat this, you can create a focus-friendly environment by silencing your phone, closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, and setting clear boundaries for when and how you'll check messages. For example, you might decide to check your email only at specific times during the day, rather than responding to every notification as it comes in. We'll explore more strategies for overcoming distractions, including digital detox techniques and creating a distraction-free workspace, in Chapter 6, Overcoming Distractions. Another key to mastering attention is mindfulness, a practice that involves training your mind to stay present and fully engaged in the moment. Mindfulness helps you become more aware of your thoughts and distractions without getting caught up in them. For instance, if you're working on a task and notice your mind wandering, mindfulness allows you to gently bring your focus back without judgment. This practice not only improves your ability to concentrate but also reduces stress and enhances overall mental clarity. Imagine you're sitting at your desk, trying to focus on writing a report, but your mind keeps drifting to thoughts of an upcoming meeting or a conversation you had earlier in the day. Instead of getting frustrated or giving into the distraction, mindfulness teaches you to acknowledge the thought, let it go, and return your attention to the task at hand. Over time, this practice can help you build greater control over your attention and reduce the impact of distractions. We'll dive deeper into mindfulness techniques, including simple meditation practices and how to incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine, in Chapter 3, Mindfulness and Meditation. Finally, it's important to recognize that attention is a finite resource. Just like a muscle, it can become fatigued if overused. This is why taking regular breaks is essential for maintaining focus throughout the day. Techniques like the Pomodoro method, which involves working in focused intervals, typically 25 minutes, followed by short breaks, 5 minutes, can help you sustain your attention and avoid burnout. For example, you might use a timer to work on a task for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break to stretch, grab a glass of water, or simply close your eyes and breathe. These breaks give your brain a chance to recharge, making it easier to maintain focus over longer periods. We'll discuss more about the importance of mental breaks, how to structure your day for optimal focus, and strategies for avoiding burnout in Chapter 9, Sustaining Focus in a Busy World. By understanding the science of attention and distraction, you can begin to take control of your focus. It's not about eliminating distractions entirely, that's nearly impossible in today's world. Instead, it's about creating systems and habits that help you manage distractions and direct your attention toward what truly matters. As you move through this book, you'll discover even more tools and strategies to strengthen your focus and achieve mental clarity. But for now, start by observing your own attention patterns. When do you feel most focused? What tends to pull you away? These insights will serve as a foundation for the work ahead. Remember, the journey to mental clarity and focus is a process, and every small step you take brings you closer to your goal. The role of habits in shaping mental clarity. Our daily habits are the invisible architects of our mental clarity and focus. They shape how we think, how we feel, and how we navigate the world around us. Every action we take, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, contributes to the overall state of our minds. Think about it, habits like scrolling through social media before bed, skipping breakfast, or multitasking during work might seem harmless in the moment, but over time, they can clutter our minds, drain our energy, and leave us feeling scattered and overwhelmed. These small, seemingly insignificant actions accumulate, creating a mental environment that is chaotic and unfocused. On the other hand, positive habits, like starting your day with a mindful morning routine, taking regular breaks to recharge, or dedicating time to physical exercise, can enhance your cognitive function, boost your energy levels, and help you stay focused throughout the day. These habits create a foundation of mental clarity, allowing you to approach your tasks with a sense of calm and purpose. Habits are powerful because they operate on autopilot. Once a habit is formed, it requires very little conscious effort to maintain. This is why breaking bad habits can feel so difficult, they're deeply ingrained in our daily routines. But the good news is that you can also harness the power of habits to support your mental clarity and focus. For example, imagine someone who starts their day by checking their phone first thing in the morning. They're immediately bombarded with emails, news updates, and social media notifications, which sets the tone for a distracted and stressful day. Their mind is already cluttered with information before they've even had a chance to fully wake up. Now, imagine someone else who begins their day with a few minutes of deep breathing, a healthy breakfast, and a clear plan for what they want to accomplish. This simple shift in habits can make a world of difference in their mental clarity and productivity. By starting the day with intention and mindfulness, they create a mental environment that is calm, focused, and ready to tackle whatever comes their way. In this section, we'll explore how habits are formed and why they're so powerful. You'll learn about the habit loop, the cycle of cue, routine, and reward that drives our behavior. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit, the routine is the behavior itself, and the reward is the positive feeling or outcome that reinforces the habit. For example, if you have a habit of snacking on junk food when you're stressed, the cue might be feeling overwhelmed, the routine is eating the snack, and the reward is the temporary comfort it provides. Understanding this loop is the first step toward changing your habits. Once you identify the cues and rewards that drive your behavior, you can start to create new routines that support your mental clarity and focus. We'll also discuss practical strategies for building habits that support mental clarity, such as starting small, creating a supportive environment, and using triggers to remind yourself of your new routines. For instance, if you want to develop a habit of meditating every morning, you might place your meditation cushion next to your bed as a visual cue. Over time, this small action can help you establish a consistent practice that enhances your focus and mental clarity. Another strategy is to pair a new habit with an existing one. If you already have a habit of drinking coffee in the morning, you could use that as a cue to spend 5 minutes journaling or planning your day. By linking the new habit to something you already do, you increase the likelihood of sticking with it. It's important to note that building new habits takes time and patience. You might stumble along the way, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep going, one small step at a time. Research shows that it can take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form a new habit, depending on the complexity of the behavior and the individual. The key is to focus on consistency rather than perfection. If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up, just start again the next day. Over time, these small, consistent actions will add up to significant changes in your mental clarity and focus. In Chapter 5, Building Focus Through Habits, we'll dive even deeper into this topic, exploring advanced strategies for creating habits that stick and integrating them into your daily life. You'll learn how to design a morning routine that sets you up for success, how to use time blocking to stay focused, and how to avoid the pitfalls of multitasking. We'll also discuss the importance of tracking your progress and celebrating small wins along the way. By the end of that chapter, you'll have a comprehensive toolkit for building habits that support your mental clarity and focus. For now, take a moment to reflect on your current habits. Which ones support your mental clarity, and which ones might be holding you back? By becoming more aware of your habits, you can start to make intentional changes that will help you think more clearly, stay focused, and live with greater purpose. Remember, the journey to mental clarity and focus is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every small change you make today will add up to a big difference tomorrow. Identifying your mental blocks. We all have mental blocks, those invisible barriers that hold us back from thinking clearly and staying focused. These blocks can take many forms: negative self-talk, fear of failure, perfectionism, or even physical factors like lack of sleep or poor nutrition. They operate quietly in the background, influencing our thoughts, decisions, and actions, often without us even realizing it. For example, imagine you're working on an important project, but every time you sit down to focus, a voice in your head whispers, "You're not good enough," or "What if you fail?" This is negative self-talk, a common mental block that can sabotage your confidence and productivity. Or perhaps you struggle with perfectionism, spending hours obsessing over minor details instead of making progress. These mental blocks can feel overwhelming, but the first step to overcoming them is to bring them into the light. In this section, we'll help you identify your unique mental blocks and understand how they're affecting your ability to focus. Mental blocks often stem from deeply ingrained beliefs or past experiences. For instance, if you grew up in an environment where mistakes were harshly criticized, you might develop a fear of failure that persists into adulthood. This fear can manifest as procrastination, self-doubt, or an inability to take risks. Similarly, if you've experienced burnout or chronic stress, you might find it difficult to concentrate or stay motivated. By reflecting on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, you can start to uncover the root causes of your mental blocks. One effective way to identify your mental blocks is through journaling. Take a few minutes each day to write down your thoughts and feelings. Pay attention to recurring patterns or themes. Do you often doubt your abilities? Do you feel overwhelmed by the fear of making mistakes? Are you constantly striving for perfection, even at the expense of your well-being? Journaling can help you gain clarity and insight into the mental blocks that are holding you back. Another helpful exercise is to track your energy levels and focus throughout the day. Notice when you feel most alert and productive, and when you feel drained or distracted. These patterns can reveal physical or environmental factors, like poor sleep, dehydration, or a cluttered workspace, that are contributing to your mental blocks. Once you've identified your mental blocks, the next step is to develop strategies for overcoming them. For example, if negative self-talk is a recurring issue, you can practice cognitive reframing, a technique that involves challenging and replacing negative thoughts with more positive and realistic ones. Instead of thinking, "I'll never get this right," you might reframe it as, "I'm learning and improving every day." If perfectionism is holding you back, try setting realistic goals and celebrating small wins along the way. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. It's also important to address the physical factors that can contribute to mental blocks. Lack of sleep, poor nutrition, and chronic stress can all impair your cognitive function and make it harder to focus. In Chapter 2, The Foundations of Mental Clarity, we'll explore how sleep, nutrition, hydration, and exercise impact your brain health. By taking care of your body, you can create a solid foundation for mental clarity and focus. In Chapter 8, Emotional Regulation and Mental Clarity, we'll dive deeper into strategies for managing stress and anxiety, which are often at the root of many mental blocks. You'll learn techniques for cultivating emotional resilience, such as mindfulness, deep breathing, and gratitude practices. These tools will help you stay calm and focused, even in the face of challenges. For now, take a moment to reflect on your own mental blocks. What thoughts, beliefs, or habits might be holding you back? By bringing these blocks into the light, you can start to take steps toward overcoming them. Remember, mental blocks are not permanent, they can be identified, understood, and dismantled. With awareness and intentional action, you can create a mental environment that supports clarity, focus, and growth. Self-assessment. Where are you now? Before we move forward, it's important to take stock of where you are right now. Think of this as a mental check-in, a moment to pause, reflect, and evaluate your current level of mental clarity and focus. This self-assessment isn't about judging yourself or feeling discouraged if you're not where you want to be. Instead, It's about gaining clarity on your starting point so you can create a roadmap for the journey ahead. After all, you can't chart a course to your destination if you don't know where you're beginning. In this section, we'll guide you through a simple yet powerful self-assessment to help you evaluate your mental clarity and focus. This assessment will cover key areas such as your ability to concentrate, your energy levels throughout the day, your emotional resilience, and your habits around sleep, nutrition, and mindfulness. By answering a series of reflective questions, you'll gain insight into areas where you're already strong and areas where you might need more work. For example, you might discover that you're great at staying focused during the morning but struggle with distractions in the afternoon. Or you might realize that while you're physically active, your sleep habits could use some improvement. Here's how to approach the self-assessment. 1. Find a quiet space. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes where you can reflect without interruptions. 2. Be honest with yourself. This isn't about perfection, it's about understanding your current reality. 3. Take notes. Write down your responses so you can refer back to them as you progress through the book. Now, let's begin with a few reflective questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your current level of mental clarity? Do you often feel clear-headed and able to think through problems, or do you frequently experience mental fog or confusion? How easily can you focus on a single task without getting distracted? Are you able to stay engaged for long periods, or do you find yourself constantly switching between tasks? How would you describe your energy levels throughout the day? Do you feel consistently energized, or do you experience frequent dips in energy? How well do you manage stress and emotions? Are you able to stay calm and composed under pressure, or do you often feel overwhelmed or anxious? What are your current habits around sleep, nutrition, and exercise? Are these areas supporting your mental clarity, or could they be holding you back? As you answer these questions, try to identify patterns or themes. For example, if you notice that your energy levels dip in the afternoon, it might be worth exploring how your diet or sleep habits are affecting your focus. If you struggle with stress, you might benefit from incorporating mindfulness or relaxation techniques into your daily routine. This self-assessment is just the beginning. As you move through the rest of the book, you'll have opportunities to revisit these questions and track your progress. Think of it as a personal benchmark, a way to measure how far you've come and celebrate your growth along the way. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a clear picture of your starting point and a roadmap for the journey ahead. Remember, this isn't about achieving perfection overnight. It's about taking small, intentional steps toward a clearer, more focused mind. So, take a deep breath, grab a notebook, and let's begin this self-assessment. Your journey to mental clarity and focus starts right here, right now. Now that you have a deeper understanding of how your mind works and the key factors that influence your mental clarity and focus, it's time to build a strong foundation for lasting improvement. In the next chapter, The Foundations of Mental Clarity, we'll explore the essential pillars of a clear and focused mind: sleep, nutrition, hydration, and physical exercise. These fundamental elements play a crucial role in optimizing brain function and setting the stage for the powerful mind exercises ahead. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video as we continue this journey toward greater mental clarity and focus. If you're enjoying this book, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in Chapter 2.